Yo, what's going on, guys? Welcome to the Week 7 Team Builder. This week we're against Kippy. They have a scary team on the right side of the screen, as per usual. And the first Pokemon we're bringing is BELLIBOLT. They have no ground resist, so we're bringing Specs again. The third time we're bringing Choice Specs BELLIBOLT. Kind of hilarious. They're only electric resists, or Galvantula, who's kind of a fake one, and then Flapple does quad resist, but if we can get like an Electromorphosis boost up, he's taking like half from a T-Bolt, 40 to 50%, even on a quad resist, because his defenses just aren't great. We've got T-Bolt, Hyperbolic Charge, Hyper Voice, because, you know, it also quad resists Muddy Water, so we're running that as just sort of a neutral move to maybe hit Galv and that, and then Volt Switch. We're max defensive, because their team is mainly physically offensive, other than the Galvantula. I don't expect Politoed to be coming offensive. I think it needs to be here for Clawitzer. And, yeah, and then their next highest Mon is Flapple, who, you know, physical Mon. So really just Galvantula. Next up, we've got Matang. This is going to be our Flapple answer. I do expect Flapple to be Terra Ground in this matchup. It's pretty good into my team. Hits BELLIBOLT. Hits this guy. We've got Rocks, Heavy Slams, and Headbutt, and Bullet Punch. We've got a mixed spread here. I'll be honest, I'm recording this after the battle, because my mic did not pick up in the original Team Builder. So I don't remember exactly what this spread was for, but probably to live so many hits from Galv with that 76 Spadef. And yeah, you can also switch into stuff like Bastiodon if needed, as well as Wheezing. So we've got Assault Vest Clawitzer, pretty standard Water Pulse, Dark Pulse to hit the Dusclops. Dragon Pulse is just a very neutral move, hits pre-Terra Flapple, and you turn to get on out of there. I expect a really specially defensive, maybe Assault Vest Politoed to come. It's a pretty good answer to this, all things considered. Doesn't really do a lot back though with the Assault Vest. But yeah, that's Clawitzer. Next up, we've got Daxpun. This is our Mabosstiff counter. It's probably one of the best Mabosstiff counters in the format. It's a little unlucky for him there. We've got Play Rough, Body Press to hit the Bastiodon, and we don't really hit the Wheezing, but we wouldn't hit him hard either way with Psychic Fangs. So we've just got Wish Protect. We're max defensive with a Rocky Helmet as well, because they have a lot of physical attackers. Mabosstiff, Flapple, Bastiodon likes to run Body Press. If Dusclops wants to run like Poltergeist or Knockoff, Furret, Staravia, a lot of physical threats. Except we've got Terra Electric Blossom. This is a, you know, oh shit, Galvantula is running my team. Let me Terra Electric. We've got Moonblast. Let's see, it hits Mabosstiff and Flapple, and then just Terra Blast Electric hits Bastiodon and Wheezing. We've got Toxic. Getting a Toxic early on something like the Dusclops could be very nice. And then Strength Sap. We've also got a mix spread, mainly defensive though, probably for Galvantula with the leftovers. So, very standard Zangoose. Facade, close combat, knockoff, quick attack with the Toxic Orb, Toxic Boost. We are speed tying Mabosstiff if it's max speed. And yeah, pretty standard Zangoose. So let's hop right into the battle. Alright everyone, this is the Week 7 battle. Sorry, my mic was not working, and so I have a pixel art of a duck covering the face cam. The face cam isn't too interesting when there's no audio coming from it. So enjoy the little duck guy. But yeah, they brought Mabosstiff, Galvantula, Flapple. Flapple is Terra Ground, as I predicted, Wheezing, Dusclops, and Politoed. So let's hop right into the battle. So we do see a Galvantula lead, and I lead Clawitzer myself. Now we are the Assault Vest, so we can take a Thunder. But if there's some sort of booster item like Expert Belt or Life Orb or Choice Specs I think just blows me out of the water, but a booster item, maybe a roll. I don't want to risk that as Clawitzers are really good into their team, so I'm pretty certain I'd just go hard BELLIBOLT here. And also if they hit me, we do get an Electromorphosis boost. And that's what we end up doing. And I believe they straight up just go for the Thunder here. Yeah. And from that damage, we see that they are not Choice Specs. I think they could, and they're not Life Orb either. Maybe it could be magnet and like low rolled, but most likely not a booster item here. I feel like they could be sashed since they let it, you know. There's no sticky webs obviously, but they let Galv. Could think of a possible sash. So here I want to go for a Volt Switch. I did not expect them to stay in here. And they could Volt Switch themselves. And this is an Electromorphosis 252 Modest Choice Specs Volt Switch coming out from the Belly Goat. So anything that comes in is not going to want to take this. Flapple's going to be the best, but he's still at least taking 30 to 40%. And Galv takes over half, I'm pretty certain. So let's see what our opponent goes for. And they go straight up for the Bug Buzz, which does a good amount of damage. That's a 2-hit KO. You get charged with power. And we go for a Volt Switch. And it does a lot of damage. Brings them into the red. This is Zangoose quick attack range now. I don't think it's quite in Matang Bullet Punch, as he's not the strongest of guys. Especially when it's resisted. I think I'm looking at it, counting it now, because I would like to go into this, but we do end up going Zangoose. Let's go Gordon. Only got 20 episodes of Black Clover left. Fortunately, haven't been able to watch it, as had a power outage here, and due to Hurricane Helene, but anyways. We do straight up go for the quick attack. If they want to go into something like a Dusclops, that's okay. Dusclops doesn't do anything to me. Dusclops' main thing is like burning stuff, and he can't burn me. And I'm a normal type, so he can't ghost move me. So we don't really care about Dusclops. If Weezing comes out, that'd probably be best case scenario for him, but also cannot burn me. That's why Zangoose is so good in this format, man. Unsure what my opponent does here. I don't quite remember. This music is so good, man. Scarlet Violet is such good music. They do just hard to withdraw. And they go into Bowser, who is the Mabostiff. So this is going to be some good chip. That's really good chip. We always go Dock Spun on this guy. Whether, you know, we don't know what set he is. Could be Bandit, could be Scarf, could be Setup. It gets Hone Claws, I know. Don't think it gets Sword Stance or Bulk Up. Wish this guy got Bulk Up. It'd be great. And we also don't see an Intimidate come out. So we know he's a Guard Dog, I think it's called. Which makes sense into Tauros Intimidate. Tauros did not come this match, though. So we just go hard Dock Spun always on this guy. This is what Dock Spun mainly came for. And so there's no reason not to go into it. I really don't want to take like a Banded Crunch. Zangoose probably just dies. I believe Mabostiff also gets fighting moves, maybe. Could be wrong. We just go hard Dock Spun, and they go for a Crunch. Based on that damage, we see he is not banded. Does get the defense drop, which is a little annoying, but we get more Rocky Helmet chip, putting this guy at just above 50%, which is great. Having this guy low, we saw Zangoose did at least 25 to 30% with quick attack, so if we can get like 2 more Rocky Helmet procs, that's in quick attack range. I think I was calculating that damage there, and we just go for a Wish. If we can possibly get someone like BELLIBOLT back up with HP, that's fantastic. I'm figuring they're likely not staying in here, and I think here, you know, they clicked a move switched out. They could possibly be Scarfed, so I do need to keep that in the back of my mind for sure. Frisk finds a Rocky Helmet, doesn't matter, as we go for a Wish. This week, we are not Wobake Body, so they could actually burn us. We are Romaville because this guy gets Taunt. They've got a few Encores. Furret also gets Taunt. And I didn't want to get Taunted or Encored in a Wish or Protect. So we are actually Romaville this week. And they don't really have Fire type, and none of their guys will really use Fire coverage other than like Will-O-Wisp and maybe Weezing with Flamethrower, but that's not a big deal. And so I didn't feel Wobake Body was too necessary. do switch out into Bellibolt, as I'm pretty sure I calced and Bellibolt lived most attacks, maybe not a Poltergeist. But they go for the Nightshade, and we do live this. It does 100 damage, of course. And we get that Wish up, which puts us at 181. We will die to 2 more Nightshades, but we are Electromorphosis boosted. If this guy wants to stay in, he is taking a ton of damage. I thought about going for a Parabolic Charge here, but I was unsure on this guy's set. If he's Spadef, he might be able to take 2. So I just straight up go for the Thunderbolt. I just want some damage off, you know. Getting ever closer to a Clawitzer or Zangoose in-game. This guy getting Weekend is going to be massive for either one of those to possibly clean up. Our opponent takes a little bit of time here. Bellibolt is such a funny guy. Dusclops is a funny guy too. We go for the T-Bolt and look at this damage. Jesus Christ, that is to a Dusclops, man. A Dusclops. Oh my god. And now he hits me again, so whatever coming in, I'm just clicking it again. Flapple is taking 45 to 55% from this. I think the calc was maybe 40 to 50. Either way, some huge chip on that guy. And that's a quad resist. A quad resist. They either stay in, let this thing die, something else comes in or dies, or they go Flapple, which I think is one of their win conditions, considering it has Terra and stuff. And that guy's taking a huge chunk, so they're not in a great spot here. We've been pretty much in a commanding lead this whole game, other than turn 1, due to the unfortunate lead. Maybe turn 2 as well, but we get a lot of chip on Galv. So they do up to save Dusclops, and they go into Count Bleu, which is the Flapple. Quad resist, mind you, and that does half. Exactly 50%. Now obviously they are Terra Ground. I would like to stay in and go for it again, in case they, you know, miss an attack with Hustle or something. But we go Matang, maybe. Maybe I don't. I think I'm running a calc right now, how much Terra Blast Ground would do to Matang. Heavy Slam, I believe, would kill this, or almost kill it. Heavy Slam and a Bullet Punch for sure. We go Blossom. I'm thinking that they might just want to rip off a Terra Blast Ground immediately, so I want to go Blossom. We're Terra Electric, but in front of this guy, I preferably will not want the Terra, as we'll resist the grass attacks. We go into Mimosa. As they do opt to Terra. Makes a lot of sense. Look at this goat right here. Terra Flapple, that's a goat. And they put up a substitute. Now, I'm gonna give a little bit of a spoiler. Their set was Ripened Pitaya, as you'll see here. If you don't know what a Pitaya berry is, I'll explain after this turn. They go for Giga Drain. Okay, so they're a special set. Pitaya increases your special attack by 2 stages. Very unfortunate that they were exactly on 25 or 26%, so they couldn't get the Pitaya berry off. I get +2 special attack. I have to say, very cool tech from my opponent. We Moonblast easily breaks the sub. I love how the sub floats now. That's so great. And this guy can't really beat Blossom 1v1 at the HP it's at. I'm unsure if Moonblast will kill from here, but it will bring it very close and easily into Zangoose quick attack range. So they do opt to withdraw. I think they go hard Wheezing here on the Moonblast. Yeah. That's okay with me. We get a little chip. And we get to see... We do drop their special attack, which is quite nice. And we do see this is Black Sludge and not like a Rocky Helmet set, which is very good knowledge to have. Get a little HP back leftovers, putting us almost at max HP. And we're looking pretty good this game. Here I want to go Clawitzer, as Weezing doesn't really do much to us with the Assault Vest, and they are at -1. And we can just rip off a very strong Water Dart or Dragon Pulse, really. Most likely a Dark or Dragon Pulse, as they do have that Politoed in the back with Water Absorb, and I don't want to click Water Pulse into that guy. Granted, he won't gain any HP, but we got to start making some progress on that Politoed, or Clawitzer will not be able to win the game. Go Hard Clawitzer, and they go for Toxic Spikes, which is a really great play in my team. Oricorio Sensu was not brought this week, so very annoying there, as we have no way to remove those hazards. And here I go for a Dragon Pulse, as it's 5 more base power than Dark Pulse, and has a for sure chance to do a KO. As we do see Politoed come out, makes a lot of sense. And we get a very lucky crit, does about half. We do see the leftovers come out. That is a very specially defensive set that they have. So right here I'm doing some calcs. I'm like, okay, does this guy get, you know, some weird moves? I think I was looking at like T-Bolt, Energy Balls. Like, okay, he can't do a lot to me. Like, he really only gets Earth Power or Water and Ice moves. I was like, well, we'll stay in. We have a chance to flinch here always, and we can get some more chip off. Once again, we get more chip. Zangoose quick attack range. We Dark Pulse. We don't get the flinch, but they miss Hypnosis. This is some really fortunate hacks for me here. So they do get the lefties. Based on that damage, I'm unsure if we can kill with Dragon Pulse, as the crit did just half, and that's a bit over half. So here I do go for a U-turn, as I don't want Clawitzer getting put to sleep. This thing is so good into his team with Politoed being weakened and a 2-hit KO with Dragon Pulse if it wants to switch in. And after U-turn damage, it probably can 1-hit KO, depending if it can get a leftovers proc or not. And they do switch out, which is very interesting. I suppose it makes sense. And they bring in Dusclops, just looking to sack this guy. They do find my Assault Vest, which is pretty annoying. But we U-turn out of there. Obviously not going to kill, but whatever we go into can kill this now. I believe I go Zangoose, as I don't want anything else getting toxic. And if they want to save Dusclops for whatever reason, we get a very strong, very free knockoff on anything that wants to come in. Weezing, we can knock off its recovery, as that's probably the main switch into Zangoose, and yeah. I'm debating what I want to go into, but I'm pretty certain I go Zangoose here, yeah. As he's already poisoned, so the T-Spikes will not affect him. And we don't really need HP on this guy, as they don't have priority, so quick attack, in-game looking very good here with this guy gone. So Dusclops goes down, the first Pokemon KO'd. Quite a while until a Pokemon got KO'd, but we see they were Eviolite, of course. So that's an Eviolite Dusclops for you. BELLIBOLT did 80% too. Pretty sure they were very physically defensive, not specially, but either way, that's still a ton of damage. And here we see Mabostif come in. Zangoose in game looks really good, and I'm like, I'm just gonna go Darkspun. I mean, it's always free against this guy. This is why Darkspun was brought. As we do get Toxic, or Poison, which is a little annoying, but they go for a Psychic Fangs, which is a good play, expecting Darkspun, but they do take more Rocky Helmet chip. So we do see the poison damage drop off a little below half, but this Mabostif is now likely in Zangoose quick attack range. It might be a roll. So we go for a Wish here, as I'm like, okay, this guy's probably scarfed. And we see the Hone Claws come out. It's a really great play there, expecting the Wish. Granted, even after Hone Claws, not doing a lot of damage to Darkspun, but it is what it is. So after that turn, I did see my Wish was faster, which is weird because we have no speed on this Darkspun. So I was like, oh, they must have a bulkier Mabostif set. It's like, well, even if they're, you know, like max defense or something, that's gonna kill. And the answer is yes. I ran a calc there, and it does kill. So that's really nice. We didn't have to waste a turn protecting and take more poison damage. We get the wish here. Gets us pretty healthy. And take a little poison damage. I fully expect the Weezing to come out here. And Darkspawn did his job. Okay. Took out my Mabostiff. He healed up Bellibolt once. I was like, well, Poison comes out, you know, if it has like Sludge Bomb, I'm just gonna wish and get some chip in, get into another Pokemon. And we actually see Galvantula come out here. I'm like, I guess they just want damage off, as Thunder did not kill us from this range. I was like, a bit strange. I was like, I'll just go for a Body Press, as it killed here. Didn't want to risk Play Rough missing. As they Volt Switch for some chip, which is a really great play on their part. And I just went for Body Press, so they get out the like Wish Protect shenanigans. It's a great play from there in. And Weezing does come out here, as we get some very meaningless chip due to Black Sludge with Body Press. And here, I fully expect to go down. Darkspawn, 07s, did your job, bud. So I just let off one final wish, I believe. Yep. As we do find out they're Sludge Wave and not Bomb, which arguably better, as we don't have to worry as much about a chance to poison. So Darkspawn does unfortunately go down, but we're still in a very commanding position, as we have a very free Clawter switch in now. Very free Dragon Pulse here, as it does 2-hit KO. We do get poison with the Toxic Spikes, which is a bit unfortunate. I guess Sludge Wave is better here now that they have T-Spikes rather than Sludge Bomb, because it would be poison either way, unless it's like Oricorio who flies. But anyways, Dragon Pulse, you know, if they're a specially defensive set, it's going to be doing at least half. So they're taking quite a while for this turn. But they do stay in, take a Dragon Pulse, which does a ton of damage. They Sludge Wave, does meaningless damage due to Assault Vest, and we get the Wish. So that's literally a great turn for me. We get, what, 65% damage on Weezing, and we take 12%. This is very good for Zangoose, as this guy will die to a Facade now. So there's no reason not for me to just click it again, you know. I expected probably Politoed to come in here and get sacked, as it's too low to really do anything. And that is what happens. And we do find out here that Dragon Pulse actually would have killed from that range, but hey, better to play it safe than sorry, for sure. And they would have sacked Dusclops either way, so really just got to kill the Zangoose rather than Klotzer, so it didn't really matter, if we're being honest. So we're in a pretty commanding spot. This guy comes out, of course. We just have to position Zangoose in on Galvantula to be able to quick attack, and we've won the game. So Bellibolt on low HP. He's a slow guy. He'll get poison when he comes in. Not looking too useful, so we just opt to sack him, unfortunately. He did tremendous work this game, though, so can't even be mad. 07's to luck. What a go. Go in the show, go in the game. I need to just opt straight up for the Thunder. So here, I'm like, well, I think I'm debating, do I go Metagross, or sorry, Metagross, do I go Metang or Blossom? I'm like, wait, I think Zangoose just wins from here. I'm running some calcs. Granted, they're probably going to switch out here and go Weezing, but Weezing drops to a Facade easily from this range, especially after some quick attack chip. Flapple does die to a quick attack, barely. If they got a lot of bulk, it might not, but either way, we go for that. And then Galvantula can't get through Matang and Blossom, and I believe, you know, Clauncher's also alive. They could miss a Thunder. I think we live a Volt Switch, maybe from our HP. The poison damage might kill us. Some run some calcs here. They're waiting to make their move. I think they're like, oh shit. I think I've gotten checkmated. So they do withdraw, and they go Weezing. Which makes sense. Weezing's pretty useless at this point now. As quick attack, you know, it might have even almost been a 2-hit KO from quick attack without Black Sludge, but easily Facade's picking him off. And we always outspeed this guy. Could go for a Facade here. I think I was looking, before I selected Zangoose on, what's his name? Galvantula, I was making sure, I was like, this guy doesn't get quick attack or priority, right? He does not. So Weezing goes down. As their only play here really is to go Flapple and hope he can live a quick attack. He's just below, let's see, is that about 30%, maybe 32, around that range. And I think quick attack did 35 to like a no bulk. So our plan always is to just go for it, as worst case it's a 3-0 instead of a 4-0, and quick attack does pick up Flapple. And then last is Galvantula, who falls to a quick attack. So really great game. I think I had a really good matchup, I'll be honest. Didn't have too many answers to Zangoose, and I had a great answer to their first round pick from the Boston. Arguably one of the best in the format, I'd say. But they played well nonetheless. They had some really great plays. I think also got hacked on Polytoad with that Dragon Pulse crit and Hypnosis, which definitely altered the game. I think I was still in the commanding seat, but it definitely would have been a lot closer than 4-0. Probably something like a 2-0, maybe a 1-0 even. My opponent played really well, got some hacks. Unfortunate matchup, I think, for them as well. But GG's nonetheless, and sorry for having to do a voiceover, but hope to see you guys in my Week 8 battle.